This is Stephanie, and this is Intelligent Luxury. So today I used Carol's Daughter's Black Vanilla and the hair oil. Just braid my hair. I'm Stephanie. I love reading books. Michael Jordan steakhouses are in the states of Illinois, Connecticut, and Washington. And the steakhouse in Illinois is not in a casino. On my website, intelligentluxurymagazine.com, there are links to Mr. Michael Jordan's restaurants and websites, and links to Mr. Bob Johnson's link to Mr. Bob Johnson's Mercedes-Benz automobile dealership in Alabama. Michael Jordan owns a golf course named the Grove 23, invitation only. The U.S. Food Chef Store on 3304 Eastway Drive in Charlotte, North Carolina, is a store for chefs. The new Mercedes-Benz S-Class is an S-Class. For further information about Mercedes-Benz is available. For further information about Mercedes-Benz, you can visit mercedesbenz.com. So, all in NYC Public Art Edition showcases dozens of free public art programs across the city for New Yorkers now and eventually visitors to safely explore this summer and beyond, with some artworks already on view and others to be made available over the next year. The 5 borough public works of art can be found on nycgo.com/public art. Please visit metmuseum.org for more information. Today I'm wearing Free People, Walmart, and Mandy's leggings with Walmart sandals and my bracelets. The president plans to tour the American Red Cross National Headquarters today in Washington, D.C. And then he will participate in a round discussion about donating plasma. The vice president delivers remarks on the Trump administration's pro-growth economic policies at the Guy Chemical Company today. Venatal. This is the Venatal. I've never heard of Venatal. It's Venatal National Day. I want to say Venatal. Venatal. Venatal's in the South Pacific. The capital is Port Vila. It's north of New Caledonia, west of Fiji, and south of the Solomon Islands. And that's Venezuela. I always like to read about these nations, and the South Pacific is really, 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 really going to be nice information. They have a nice flag. Wow. What's this? Is the national anthem? That's on the Encyclopedia Britannica. The population is about 274,000 people. They're agriculturists living in small rural villages. Really interesting if you read about this uh, nation on Encyclopedia Britannica. Governor Cuomo announced that the U.S. Open Championship is to be held in New York from September 14th to the 20th without fans. We hope they have fans. And U.S. Secretary of State Pompeo, on behalf of the government of the United States of America, he offers the best wishes to the Vanuatu people on a national day on July 30th, which is today. For 40 years, the United States and the Republic of Vanuatu have worked together to advance shared priorities that include maritime security, good governance, and strong people to people relations. There's no greater testament to our friendship than the 863 Peace Corps volunteers who made the Vanuatu their home for the last 30 years. As your nation marks its 40th year of independence, the United States celebrates with you, even as we look forward to many more years of partnership and collaboration. So it's really about the culinary arts, the literary arts of the Vanuatu people. Let's pronounce Vanuatu. It was a French republic, actually. So let's listen. I say Vanuatu, so.
Vanuatu. Vanuatu.
Go to GoldmanSachs.com. Kobe Bryant promotes Art of Sport, the skincare products for men, Body Armor, the sports drink, and the Wizard series, and the Players Tribune. So those are great gifts for your boyfriend or husband. And Temple University's website is temple.edu, your brother or your cousin who's a guy. The University of Pennsylvania, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, Harvard University, Temple University are schools that you can apply to if they're accepting applications. I. Gorman Jewelers in Washington, D.C. is open for business, I believe. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cedar Crest has been recognized as the #1 hospital in Lehigh Valley for the 2021 by the U.S. News and World Report. This is the 7th straight year the LVH Cedar Crest has been ranked #1 by the magazine, which has also recognized the hospital nationally among America's best hospitals in various medical specialties 23 times since 1996. The CS show will be held next year in February. The U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Mr. Perdue, announced that the U.S. Department of Agriculture Farmers to Families Food Box Program has distributed over 50 million food boxes in support of American farmers and families. CNBC Squawk Alley is a good show. Geothermal energy is an important part of the Trump administration's diverse all of the above energy strategy, said Under Secretary of Energy Mark Menezes. These projects will help bring the massive promise of clean and reliable geothermal energy for both power production and direct use closer to reality for all Americans. There are 3 projects totaling up to $10.4 million that were selected under the Geothermal Wells of Opportunity Funding Opportunity Announcement and Support Research and Development that complements the Frontier Observatory for Research in Geothermal Energy, called FORGE Initiative. The FORGE Initiative aims to enable cutting-edge research, drilling, and technology testing to identify a replicable commercial pathway to enhance geothermal systems. The projects selected are the Cirque Energy Incorporated in Salt Lake City, Utah, which will use a combination of several innovative stimulation technologies to improve the permeability of well 16 to 29 at the Pautua geothermal field in Churchill County, Nevada, in order to boost electricity generation at the power plant. Ormat Nevada Incorporated will sequentially stimulate 3 wells at the 3 separate operating geothermal fields in Nevada in order to conduct a comparative analysis of similar simulations in different geologic environments and increase production. The University of Oklahoma will lead a diverse team to stimulate multiple zones of interest in well 73-18RD at the Coastal Geothermal Field in Inyo County, California, using using innovative hackers to achieve zonal isolation to improve production. The Trump administration announced for the first time in 20 years the National Park Service is proposing long overdue improvements to the regulations that govern contracts to enhance visitor services at national park units. The National Park Service units, if approved, the revisions would reduce administrative burdens for concessionaires to promote competition, provide more flexibility to add new services, and encourage investment in concession facilities. This proposed regulation is one more step in the Trump administration's effort to create an environment that optimizes our service to the American people at our great national parks by improving the visitor experience, said U.S. Secretary of the Interior, Mr. Bernhardt. We look forward to receiving public comments on this important initiative. The NPS proposes to improve the way it bids, awards, and administers these contracts. The goal of these changes is to improve the experience of visitors at national park units. Examples of the proposed changes include soliciting and considering suggestions from the public, including the potential concessioners for new commercial services in parks, and additional flexibility to how bids are scored so that results more accurately reflect what is most important for park visitors. In Austrian Airlines is going to resume flights, and it's a great place to travel, I believe, Austria. And then we have Indianapolis, and you have Formula1.com for the Formula. Visit Oregon, Microsoft. Use Microsoft Office Suite, Adobe Creative Suite. Use Apple products if you want to. Talk about books. Penguin, Random House, Simon Schuster, HarperCollins. You have Michael Jordan's Restaurants. I am Stephanie. My website is intelligentluxurymagazine.com. And I love flowers and watching river water and ocean water sing. Fashion Week New York is in September. Bloomingdale's sells clothing. Please visit Bloomingdale's.com. Please visit Louis Vuitton's website, LouisVuitton.com. Watch Stephen Colbert from home. I pray to attend the Super Bowl, and I plan to produce an event during the Super Bowl weekend. Reserve a luxury hotel room today. Me be the Embassy Suites Tampa Downtown Convention Center, owned by Mr. Bob Johnson. It has rooms available. Watch 60 Minutes on CBS. Play The Sims by EA Sports. So anyway, I like creating crafts. Watch CNBC. I love Free People clothes. I'm wearing Free People today. This shirt is Free People. And read the Wall Street Journal, wallstreetjournal.com, NewYorkTimes.com. And I'm a lifetime member of the NAACP. Please visit NAACP.org for more information. And that is all I have to say about that. You can talk about your preets. Leave space in your preet, leave space in your read. And let's talk about books so I can watch the rest of CNBC's Squawk Alley. Let's read something from the divorce. I underlined a few things. I think I read this again. I'll read this again. On page 139 in this edition of The Souls of Black Folk by Mr. W.E.B. Du Bois. I say in American accent, Du Bois. In all, 185 Negroes have owned land in this country, in this county since 1875. And it talks about land ownership in different counties. I wonder where they own land in 1875 in this county. So they were discussing counties in the state of Georgia. So in 1870, the tax books of Dougherty report no Negroes as landholders. If there were any such at the time, and there may have been a few, their land was probably held in the name of some white patron, a method not uncommon during slavery. In 1875, ownership of land had begun with 750 acres. 10 years later, this had increased to over 6,500 acres to 9,000 acres in 1890 and 10,000 in 1900. So this is a chapter of The Quest of the Golden Fleece. Really interesting book about the souls of black folk. We read Anne of Green Gables, a sentence, and I'll read a sentence if you didn't see, if you didn't hear the sentence. Mrs. Rachel Lynde lived just where the Avonlea main road dipped down into a hollow fringe with alders, and the lady's eardrops, and traversed by a brook that had its source away back in the woods of the old Cuthbert place. It was reputed to be an intricate, headlong brook, and its earlier course through the woods with dark secrets of pools and cascade. But by the time it reached Lynn's Hollow, it was quite well-conducted little stream, for not even a brook could run past Mrs. Rachel Lynde's door without due regard for decency and decorum. It probably was conscious that Mrs. Rachel was sitting at her window, keeping a sharp eye on everything that passed from brooks and children up, and that if she noticed anything odd or out of place, she would never rest until she had ferreted out of the whys and wherefores thereof. This is a pretty well-written book. Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. We have Little Women here. We like one of my dreams. It's my it's my bookmark here. Mumbai, Bombay, Mumbai. Good food there. Pakoras, great pakoras. Chapter 3, The Lawrence Boy. I'll read a sentence. Jojo, where are you? Cried Meg at the foot of the garret stairs. Here, answered a husky voice from above, and running up, Meg found her sister eating apples and crying over the air of Redcliffe, wrapped up in a comforter on an old three-legged sofa by the sunny window. This was Jo's favorite refuge, and here she loved to retire with a half dozen russets and a nice book to enjoy the quiet and the society of a pet who lived nearby and didn't mind her a particle. As Meg appeared, Scrabble whisked into his hole. Jo shook the tears off her cheeks and waited to hear the news. That's weird. A weird pet she had. She had a weird pet. Oh, God. I don't know any woman that would have a pet like that. I don't remember that being in that book. We can alter the book, huh? So, of course, if y'all are reading the Iliad, the Iliad by Homer. And, you know, we're reading our magazines. So, we can finish reading Little Women. And we'll read a little bit of Anne of Green Gables and have our MCAT. So, the MCAT What I really like about this is that I can study and it reads to you. So I go to my library here. You can see, you can listen to James Taylor on the Break Shot free audible book. It was free for me, so I thank Amazon for that.
And I needed throat surgery. Dad got that done too. When I was feeling better, I hatched the idea that it would be good for me to go to London to try to play music over there.
So that's chapter one. He uses profanity, so I have to be a little. It's very well written. Let me play some of my friends' book. Though any of the written books, her book is Breakness, Baggage, and Blessings by Ms. Dr. Bates. Hey, Dr. Bates. Doctor. Let's
Ford. Mama, I want to be a writer. I announced this to my mother when I was 9 years old.
So it's really easy to, if you look at the Amazon Fire tablet, if you press, see how you press it and it's, you can read it this way, or you can press it, wait, you press it and you see the play button and it reads.
That warm summer evening, she and my father's...
So it talks for you. So now I think I'm going to study for my MCAT and watch CNBC. So I have this Kaplan book. And I'm still on behavioral sciences. And scroll, as you scroll. So, let's see here. You can always go to the beginning. And this is Kaplan MCAT that was purchased for me. Just to write about health. To write about the health of people. They talk about a food desert. I say that there's a desert. I say that there's a need for more healthcare for everyone. At least to be able to go to the gynecologist monthly, maybe the dentist twice a year, maybe the urologist monthly or weekly for some men. So chapter 8 is behavioral sciences, and you can just play
Chapter 8. Behavioral Sciences. A significant factor influencing a patient's ability to heal from an injury or
Then you
manage
can
chronic
make it
disease is that
faster.
person's psychiatric and socioeconomic status. In considering treatment options for a patient, a physician must take into account the patient's ability to understand and adhere to a
Make it slow.
treatment plan. Patients with a psychiatric disorder or who are...
So, there you go. Adios. So, thanks to Michael Jordan for letting me use his name. Adios.